Hey, Habs fans! Are you feeling a mix of burning temptation and serious apprehension right now? What if I told you that the Montreal Canadiens are in hot pursuit of a solution to their second-line center woes, with Nazem Kadri, the veteran star from the struggling Calgary Flames, emerging as a logical target for GM Kent Hughes in a rumor that's gaining steam as of November 13th, 2025. With Calgary's dismal 4-12-2 start signaling a fire sale, this could be the blockbuster move to solidify our lineup. Today, we're diving deep into this high-stakes speculation, exploring Kadri's potential to transform the Habs, dissecting the massive financial and logistical hurdles, and debating if this is a daring play to push us into contention. Let's unpack this complex rumor and see if Hughes can navigate the obstacles to land a game-changer. Let's set the stage with the scorching buzz that's igniting the NHL trade market. The Canadiens, off to an impressive 3-1-0 start in the 2025-26 season after a playoff return last year, are showing promise but still lack depth and experience at center behind Nick Suzuki, a vulnerability that could hinder a deeper playoff run. With over $38 million in projected cap space for 2026-27 after shedding Carey Price's contract, Hughes has financial room to maneuver, though his cautious approach to long-term deals is well known. Enter Nazem Kadri, the 35-year-old forward for Flames, whose name has surfaced as a prime target for Montreal as Calgary's collapse for -12-2 positions him as early sellers in the race for draft prospect Gavin McKenna. While no deal is confirmed, the logic of this fit is undeniable, as one report states. Teams looking for a second center, like the Montreal Canadiens, will be interested in him. Now, let's dive into why Nazem Kadri seems like such an ideal fit for Canadiens, despite the red flags. Even on a faltering Flames team, Kadri remains seductive, on pace for 53 points this season after a 35-goal, 67-point campaign last year, proving he's still a top-6 contributor. As a second-line center, 2C, alongside talents like Ivan Demidov and Patrick Lane, he could ease the defensive burden on Suzuki, allowing the captain to focus on offense with Cole Caulfield. Kadri's Stanley Cup experience, 2022 with Colorado, physicality and face-off prowess would add grit and veteran savvy to a young Habs roster, aligning with Martin St. Louis' vision of a balanced, hard-nosed team. His ability to produce under pressure makes him the exact piece Montreal needs to address their obvious center depth issue, potentially turning a promising squad into a legitimate threat. Let's imagine Kadri's impact on Montreal's lineup. If the hurdles can be cleared, slotting him as a second-line center with Demidov and Lane would create a dynamic trio, blending Kadri's playmaking and net front tenacity with Demidov's creativity and Lane's lethal shot. Picture him winning clutch face-offs in the defensive zone, muscling through opponents for gritty goals, or dishing to Demidov for slick finishes. His projected 53 points this season show he's still got it. Paired with Suzuki's elite two-way play, the Habs would boast a devastating 1-2 punch down the middle, giving St. Louis tactical depth for a playoff push. Beyond stats, his championship pedigree would instill a winning mentality in the locker room, potentially making the Bell Center a fortress for a team on the rise, as the rumor describes Montreal. Of course, acquiring Kadri comes with monumental obstacles that could derail this dream scenario, starting with his contract. With a $7 million annual cap hit for 4 more years, through 2028-29, Kadri's deal is labeled a financial nightmare for any buyer, clashing with Hughes' historical caution against long, expensive veteran contracts that could cripple future flexibility for extensions to stars like Slavkovsky or Hudson. Montreal would need to be convinced Kadri is the final piece for a title window, or push Calgary to retain a significant portion of his salary, a move the Flames would only accept for an astronomical return of top prospects and picks, potentially a 2026 first-rounder and a talent like Lane Hudson. This isn't just a trade. It's a financial tightrope that could haunt the Habs if Kadri's production declines with age. Let's dig into the second major hurdle and additional risks fueling the debate. Even if Hughes navigates the contract issue, Kadri holds all the cards with a full no-trade clause, giving him total control over his destination, as the rumor confirms. He must approve any move to Montreal, raising the question: would a 35-year-old veteran join a team on the rise like the Habs, or use his veto to force a trade to an immediate title contender? Convincing Kadri that Montreal is a right fit despite not being a top-tier favorite, adds a layer of uncertainty. Beyond logistics, there's a risk of his known hot-headed style clashing with young locker room or the intense Montreal market, where every misstep is amplified. For Calgary, trading Kadri aligns with sell-off, but they'll demand premium assets, inflating the cost. This isn't a straightforward deal. It's a labyrinth of challenges. Let's step back and assess the broader implications. If the Canadiens landed Nazem Kadri, it would mark a dramatic shift from Hughes' cautious rebuild strategy, prioritizing immediate contention over fiscal prudence to chase a title now. It's not just about filling the 2C role. It's about injecting proven scoring, playoff grit, and veteran leadership into a roster on the cusp of greatness alongside Suzuki and Caulfield, but at the risk of financial strain and cultural fit. For Calgary, moving Kadri would kickstart rebuild with future assets, a strategic play given their 4-12-2 collapse. As the rumor concludes, the logic linking Kadri to Montreal is strong, but the gigantic obstacles of his $7 million contract and no-trade clause loom large. With Hughes needing to convince both Calgary and Kadri, this is a narrow path to a transformative deal. As we wrap this up, I'm torn between the exhilarating prospect of Nazem Kadri anchoring the Canadiens' second line with elite talent and the daunting reality of the financial and logistical barriers in play. This trade rumor, targeting a veteran star from Calgary to solve Montreal's second center need, feels like a high-stakes gamble for Kent Hughes. Kadri's production, physicality, and playoff experience could be the catalyst to elevate our cup aspirations, but his $7 million cap hit through 2029 and no trade clause are massive roadblocks. Whether this materializes or remains a compelling what-if, it's a reminder that the Habs are poised for impactful moves to reclaim their legacy, even if the path is fraught with challenges. For now, the speculation keeps the tension alive as we await Hughes' next move. So, Habs Nation, I'm turning this over to you. Would you push for Kent Hughes to pursue Nazem Kadri, even with a $7 million contract and no trade clause hurdles, to fill our second-line center role? Or should we avoid the risk and seek a safer option? Drop your fiery opinions and cautious concerns in the comments. I'm eager to see if this rumor sparks the same intense debate in you as it does in me. And if the thought of Kadri in blue, Blanc et Rouge has you intrigued, hit that like button to show your support. Let's keep this conversation blazing as we watch the Habs chase greatness in 2025-26. Until next time, keep believing in bleed blue, Blanc et Rouge.